We got more solo leveling content from Mr. Boydude Reviews. This is the episode 12 scenes. Look dark, looking like some teasers for the next episode has come out. Let's get it.
Warning, heavy spoilers for Solo Leveling Season 2, Episode 11. You have been warned. Go
Warned.
check out my full review for that episode.
We just did.
It was absolutely shocking. Seeing those S-rankers getting obliterated by the Ant King, and the way the episode ended with Sung Jin-woo saying exchange, you know a bloody brutal battle is about to happen on Jeju Island, and I cannot wait. The episode was so good that it broke many records on Saturday. It broke its...
Are we done breaking the most disliked videos back to back to back? We're not gonna get a triple? Man, next episode, the servers are actually gonna go down, I think. Just like episode 6 with Tusk stuff, or was that episode 7? I forget. I think that the servers are gonna be... They're gonna be gasping for air this coming Saturday.
Own record by achieving the fastest 100,200.
And this isn't even the only record broken either. Like, I saw... comparisons with Demon Slayer and another really popular Jujutsu Kaisen. I forget which anime it was, but it was like Crunchyroll statistics. Basically, solo leveling is like top 3, and it's a pretty fucking new show too. That's crazy. Yeah, One Piece, Demon Slayer, and solo leveling. I think those are the 3 that was like compared.
100,000 likes on Crunchyroll, gaining a whopping 100,000 likes in just 3 hours. That is absolutely insane. Unfortunately, over 2,000 people gave it a big fat dislike, which is unfortunate considering how great the episode was.
Honestly, the ratio is pretty good. There's always gonna be haters. No matter what, you're always gonna have haters, and that's a good thing.
But I can only assume that they are manhwa readers. But were they
yes,
right
they are.
giving it a dislike? Well, I suppose it's a matter of preference. Looking at some of these manhwa versus anime comparison shots.
Again, manhwa versus anime comparison shots are fundamentally, it just doesn't make sense, right? Comparing the mediums versus, you know, a still frame of one scene of an one frame during an entire animation sequence versus one fucking scene in the webtoon where they can go all out. There's clearly, you know, they're always gonna be, webtoons probably gonna be better.
It's posted by these fabulous X accounts. You can clearly see that there is a bit of a difference between the manhwa panels to the anime. I feel like the manhwa has more detail when it comes to some of the line work, as well as far more shadow being applied. But honestly, I do understand why. The anime style is a lot more simplified to the manhwa. You cannot draw multiple different frames with this amount of...
Exactly. Again, I just don't think children understand. Like, you can't compare the anime versus the fucking manhwa frames. Like, fundamentally, it's just a contradiction. What do you think is gonna happen? Of course the manhwa's gonna look better.
Detail. If you did that, Solo Leveling Season 2 would have come out in 2028.
Bro, these motherfuckers want a PowerPoint presentation. They want solo leveling to be a PowerPoint presentation, bro. Alright, let's just remove the animation. Let's just do a 1-for-1 Blue Lock art style of just tracing over the fucking webtoon panels into the anime. Alright, let's do that. Let's see how much happy people will be then.
And we all know how fandoms feel about long waits in between seasons. Looking at these side-by-side comparisons, I love the anime style for what it is. But at the same time, I can understand why, if you are a manhwa reader who has read Solo Leveling for many years, you would end up hating the anime adaptation. But understand that animation and the comic book medium are different mediums entirely. I love the anime for what it is and don't really have any complaints. Yes,
100% agreed about his take here. This is the most level-headed, reasonable, logical conclusion about ever comparing the anime versus manhwa. It is utterly retarded if you're doing a side-by-side comparison and thinking, oh my god, the manhwa is so much better, that must mean the anime isn't L. Like, brother in Christ, you don't even know what you're looking at.
It's annoying we have to wait until Saturday for the new episode. That cliffhanger was a bit painful, mate. But don't worry, because we have 5 new preview images just released by the official Solo Leveling account. The new image 1 is of Choi and Yeonwoo Baek, and they look startled. But they're not the only ones who are startled, as in the second image.
They're probably shocked looking Jinwoo pulling up with the shadows, yeah?
We have Mai Donwook, Mr. Lim Tae-gyu,
and the cameraman
of the Reaper Guild, and Rando Brando in the background.
It's not Rando Brando. This cameraman, after watching the Unused Cut content, has so much lore. This is this like this guy is so hyped. Like there is a lot riding on this guy. Like Korea's best fucking cameraman. There is like the lore behind this guy is unreal. Go check out the cut content.
They also look quite startled. But what could they be looking at?
Jinwoo.
Well, there are two potential individuals they could be staring at in shock. One, it could be Sung Jin-woo. As in the third preview image, we have a really well drawn shot of him. His hair flowing, the man is looking onwards at something. But what is it?
Probably looking at the Ant King.
Before I reveal who, in the fourth new preview image,
Ooh, not my girl. Chaein looking so bad. No.
Sung Jin-woo seems to have the dancer in his arms. Hunter Chad did an amazing job in season 2, episode 11, going absolutely crazy
dancing
at the Ant Queen. But sadly, the strongest S ranker in Korea was no match against the Ant King. And I truly believe the Ant King is the
strongest S rank in Korea? Actually moment.
The individual that all of the characters are looking at, as in the fifth and final new preview image.
The Ant King. I wonder if Jim was gonna have an emotional reaction from Chaein being done dirty. But does he care enough about her to like become enraged? No, because they don't really know each other just yet, right? They're not emotionally or romantically engaged. We're not at a point where like our love partner is being sacrificed, where now a crazy berserk reaction is happening from it, right? No, not yet.
We have the Ant King in the background, releasing his aura looking like a demon. Now that I've talked about the 5 new preview images, it's time for some
theory crafting.
Theories. Just to let you guys know, I am an anime
only.
And I do not know the future of the story of Solo Leveling, so please avoid putting any spoilers in the comment section. That way me and other anime onlys like myself.
I should be looking at the ant's left hand. What's going on? What I missed right over here? Let's see. He's holding on to something. What? What about it? You think that's the head of somebody? I feel like it's the head of something. I feel like he's holding on to the head of somebody he's hunted down. We'll see.
Future of the story of Solo Leveling, so please avoid putting any spoilers in the comment section. That way me and other anime onlys like myself will not be spoiled by those comments. My first theory is, why on earth was Sung Jin-woo late to arrive to help the S Hunters? A lot of people in the comment section of other videos and other posts regarding episode 11 of season 2 have said that there was a 10 minutes delay in the broadcast on Jeju Island. So that is in fact one potential reason as to why Sung Jin-woo arrived late. But you know, I don't buy it. Sung Jin-woo has those shadows in those S Hunters.
Agreed. Jinwoo, a lot of people are saying, guys, there's a 10-minute delay on the stream. He didn't know when to pull up. So you're gonna accurately gauge 10 minutes in the fucking anime timeline? Really? Like, when did the 10-minute fucking happen, bro? The other part is the shadows were already fucking in there. You can clearly like use the shadows to gauge like what's going on. They're being used as like low-key vision or communications tools, right? That's what I'm assuming. But I don't even agree with any of those. It's just aura farming, baby. It's that simple. You don't have to think that deep into it. Why the fuck would the hero show up early? Hell no. You need to increase the stakes. You need to have everyone despairing and dooming and dying off, and then have the final guy show up and fight. There doesn't need to be a logical, rational reason for why Jinwoo pulled up later. It's just purely to create hype. That's it.
To rankers, Sung Jin-woo could have gotten a brief sneak peek at what was going on in the island without watching the broadcast, so I believe not only was he training, but Sung Jin-woo was fighting with someone. But who was he fighting? I believe he was fighting Dong-soo.
Let him cook!
Yes, that is my theory. I believe that in the first half of Solo Leveling Season 2, Episode 11, we will in fact see Sung Jin-woo training and
the first theory, what Dong-soo? Your theory on Dong-soo. Let him cook!
and Dongsu will finally confront him. Dongsu in previous episodes has been so determined in finding out who was the one who Control-Alt-Deleted his bro. I do believe he will find out it was Sung Jin-woo and fight him. I feel like the first half of the episode will be Dongsu fighting Jin-woo. I do believe that Dongsu has the knowledge that Jin-woo is the son of the man who defeated him a few episodes back, so maybe he will let out all of his rage on Jin-woo, see what he is made of, and then eventually fight his father. But I do believe that...
See, I just want to know, does he even believe in what he's saying? This is the greatest mystery to me, and that's why I continue to watch his content. Because I genuinely don't know if he's rage baiting, trying to farm inflammatory comments, playing into the rage bait, or if he truly believes in this. That's the greatest mystery of his channel. We'll never know.
That somehow the battle will either end in a draw or Sung Jin-woo will defeat Dongsu. If Dongsu got defeated by Jin-woo, oh my gosh, the man will be humiliated being defeated by father and son. That would be interesting, but it's just a theory of mine.
It's just a theory. You don't need to go so deep into it, right? You don't have to start being like, oh my god, he's so stupid! How could Dongsu ever show up? It's just anime theories, guys. It's not a big deal. But I see, after watching his videos over and over again, I have noticed a pattern of behavior where he's an incredibly rational and logical thinker. He's a well-spoken person that's able to commentate his ideas and, clearly provide his thought process. But sometimes there's stuff like this that just happens that just kind of contradicts his usual self. And at that point, I'm like, is he rage baiting or not? I still don't know completely.
My second theory is that the Ant King not only absorbs the humans' personalities, but also their abilities. We did see with Beyond
Abilities, huh? Well, it seems like the Ant King can basically eat the heads of people, consume other people, and consume memories, right? Memories and just kind of be able to like copy speech patterns or stuff like that. But abilities would be crazy.
Yoongu Min, the S-ranker healer, who got Control-Alt-Deleted by the Ant
And imagine that he can just heal himself now. That would be OP. I like this theory.
King. We saw a shot of him inside the Ant King. Maybe the Ant King now has his abilities. I do believe the second half of the episode will be Sung Jin-woo entering Jeju Island and battling the Ant King. We will have an intense fight, but just when we think that the Ant King has won,
he's already at Jeju Island though. Like he's saying basically the first half of the episode will be a retconned, flashback fight with Dongsu versus Jinwoo. And then the second half will resume in the present timeline of how episode 11 ended with Jinwoo showing up in the cave.
He will use the S-ranker healer, Min Byung-gu's abilities to heal himself and to restore his body.
That'd be OP, bro. Like how do we kill that could not be killed, If you can constantly just heal like that, that'd be busted.
Maybe these preview frames are the final images of the episode where they're like, oh my gosh, the Ant King restored himself with Byung-gu's abilities. Oh no, what are we gonna do? And
also, yeah, is there a limitation on S-rank healers of their inner, like they can't heal themselves? Is that an actual limitation? I vaguely remember something like that. I don't know.
I do believe the finale will be an absolute chaotic fight. We still haven't seen Goto yet in these images. The Ant King confronted.
I don't think Byung-gu had a chance to heal himself. He got impaled through the fucking heart immediately and was like lifted off the ground. I don't think that's just like a limitation of his power, but more just like an utter shock of like what the hell just happened.
Him, but whether he's alive or dead hasn't been confirmed by anyone yet, so that dude is still up in the air. Could we in fact get a fight of Sung Jin-woo and Goto versus the Ant King? That would be very interesting.
I don't think so. I think that it should be a 1v1. Story-wise, it doesn't make sense to be glazing Goto like this when we clearly have basically just had this character mind break and then be intimidated and collapse under the Ant King. And if you do look at the previews again, there is seemingly a head being carried, or at least, right over here, right? Could be Goto. You never know. It could be Goto already. He could be already GG.
is still up in the air. Could we in fact get a fight of Sung Jin-woo and Goto versus the Ant King? That would be very interesting. But again, we don't know what has happened to Goto. If Goto was in fact going to fight the Ant King alongside Jin-woo, then he would be in these preview images, but he is nowhere to be seen. And my final theory is that the white-haired man and Cha more or less have similar abilities when it comes to their strong sense and smell.
They do. That is straight up a fact, right? The cut content from Anime News have confirmed that like both of them have like the smelling capability to sniff out like different powers, and the white hair guy thinks that he's better than Cha because he needs a gas mask while Cha only needs like a handkerchief. So I made a funny comment of like, damn, there's fucking smell leveling now. There's a power scaling within the smelling mechanisms.
The way the white hair guy reacted, it did remind me of the way Cha reacted. It's just a thought that I had, but maybe these two characters went to a similar school to train. I do feel like if Sung Jin-woo defeats,
I don't think it has to do with schools. I don't think the school's teaching you how to train your smells, right? But more like you're born with that, or you awaken into that.
The Ant King, and they all go back home if that ever happens, it will be one of these two characters who will be the ones to pick up the scent of there being another threat. Isil from season 2 episode 8 did say that the Demon Clan forced to work together to defeat a new incoming Doom. I thought that Doom was going to be the Ants, but it does seem like the Ant King is the final boss of this Ant Jeju Island. So unless this Ant King evolves and gets even more stronger and deadlier, and unless there is another major ant on the island, then I do believe there is another big threat that is coming very soon that the crew will not even expect.
This I agree with, and I've always related this back to the Monarch system, right? Like there's multiple different things that's been said about Sung Jin-woo, the Shadow Monarch, Tusk's commentary about like, if you're here, then why are we here, blah, blah, blah. That makes you think that like there's like a separate entity, even what Dad's saying, right? Dad's like making comments about, you know, how all the hunters can be used against you and blah, blah, blah. The end of the world is here, a catastrophe, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, maybe the Shadow Monarch is like the end boss and Jin-woo is actually, you know, being trained up to become this big baddie boss. I don't know. But I feel like this is like, again, after the Jeju Ants, we need greater power scaling. I'm sure national hunters are finally going to step in. Like we saw the Chinese dude. Goto wants to be national, but I don't think it's going to happen at this point. We saw Thomas Andre. I'm sure Jin-woo will be positioned in a place of national hunter level after he clears the Jeju Ant Raid because of how much of a big feat it is. And then we're going to have like new threats coming in. We'll see. That's like season 3 content.
But I do believe that Cha or this white-haired man will be the first ones to pick up on this new threat with their strong sense of smell. But
if the Shadow Monarch truly is the big threat, it'd be funny because Cha smells nice things from Jin-woo, right? Like she smells it and she's like, oh, this is a pleasant smell, rather than it being, oh my god, big new threats.
Those are my theories. Overall, these 5 new preview images are hype. They haven't quite spoiled what is going to happen in the episode, but judging on the fact that Jin-woo is finally on Jeju Island, I can only assume that a big battle is about to begin.
Hell yeah, baby. We got Takeuchi coming in for this episode. He's gonna just fucking pop off with the, you know, the Sakuga scenes. The fight's gonna be insane. Jin-woo versus Ant King. I wonder how much of the episode will be that fight. I maybe it's too much for me to ask, but like, man, I want something like episode 6 versus Tusk. That episode, or was it episode 7? I forget. But that entire episode was just like an all-out brawl fight, just highlight reel. God, I want something like that.
But tell me in the comments down below, what did you guys think of these new preview images?
I think that they're not showing much, right? There's really not much to just show. The really, I guess the really interesting preview I think is like the Ant King right over here, which is arm positioning, which may imply that like he is holding onto something, dragging a body, holding a head. It's very unclear of what it could be, but I think this is the most interesting one that could allude to Goto. But hey, we'll be looking forward to the actual PV when it comes out. Please go check out a Boydude Reviews channel. Here is the link to the video. Give the video a like, and see you next time.